Zagortman. In the deep woods of Pine Hollow, where the trees grow thick and the shadows linger, folks tell a tale. A tale of the goat man. Not quite beast, not quite human. A creature born of mystery, fear, and whispers passed down through generations. Long ago, in the early days of Pine Hollow, the town was small. Just a handful of cabins, a church, and a dirt road that wound through the forest. The people were hardy, but cautious. They knew the woods held secrets. Strange noises at night. Footprints that didn't match any animal. And sometimes a low, guttural bleat that chilled the blood. The story begins with Elias Crow, a farmer who lived on the edge of town. Elias was a quiet man, stubborn, with a temper that flared when crossed. He kept goats, a small herd he prized above all else. They were his livelihood, his pride. But Elias had a dark side. Some said he dabbled in things best left alone. Old rituals, strange symbols carved into the trees near his barn. One autumn, a sickness swept through Pine Hollow. Crops withered. Livestock died. Elias's goats were spared, though, and that raised eyebrows. Whispers spread. Folks said Elias had made a deal, something unnatural, something that demanded a price. The townsfolk grew wary, avoiding his farm, crossing the street when he passed. One night, under a blood-red moon, Elias vanished. His cabin stood empty, the doors swinging open. His goats were gone, too. Not a single one left in the pen. The townsfolk searched the woods, calling his name, but found nothing. Nothing but a trail of hoof prints, too large to belong to any goat, leading deep into the forest. Weeks passed. The town tried to move on, but then the sightings began. A figure in the woods, tall and hunched, with the legs of a goat and the torso of a man. Its eyes glowed like embers in the dark. It carried an axe, rusted and heavy, and its bleat echoed through the trees. The goat man, they called it. Some swore it was Elias, cursed for his dealings. Others said it was something older, something the woods had always hidden. The goat man didn't harm anyone at first. It watched from the shadows, lingering at the edge of farms, staring through windows at night. Children stopped playing near the woods. Hunters avoided the deeper trails. The town preacher called it a demon, urging folks to pray for protection. But prayers didn't stop the bleeding that woke them in the dead of night. One winter, a young man named Thomas Reed decided he'd had enough. Thomas was brave, or maybe foolish. He was tired of the fear, tired of the stories. He took his rifle and a lantern and set out to find the goat man. "I'll put an end to this," he told the townsfolk, who begged him to stay. Thomas ventured deep into the woods, following the hoof prints that never seemed to fade. The air grew colder, the trees tighter, as if the forest itself was closing in. Then he saw it, standing in a clearing, axe in hand, eyes glowing. The goat man. It didn't move, didn't speak, just stared. Thomas raised his rifle, but his hand shook. The creature let out a bleat, low and mournful, and stepped forward. Thomas fired. The shot rang out, echoing through the trees. But when the smoke cleared, the goat man was gone. No blood, no tracks, just the axe lying in the snow. Thomas ran back to town, pale and trembling, swearing he'd never set foot in the woods again. The axe was brought to town, locked in the church's cellar. But the sightings didn't stop. The goat man still appeared, always at the edge of vision, always with that same mournful bleat. Some said it was searching for something, maybe Elias, maybe its herd, maybe something darker. Others believed it was a warning, a reminder that the woods keep their secrets close. Pine Hollow still stands today. The town's grown, but the woods remain. And so does the tale of the goat man. If you walk the trails at dusk, you might hear the bleat, see the glow of eyes in the dark. The folks in Pine Hollow will tell you, don't follow the hoof prints. Don't pick up the axe. And never, ever call out to the goat man. But what do you think, listener? Is the goat man just a story, a shadow born of fear? Or is there something real lurking in those woods? Have you ever heard a strange bleat in the night? Or seen hoof prints that didn't belong? Share your thoughts with us at the Story Drum. Drop a comment, send us your own tales, or tell us what you'd do if you came face to face with the goat man. subscribe, like, and join our community of storytellers to keep the firelight glowing and the tales alive. Until next time, stay safe and stay out of the woods.